$1 million production deal to produce a whole bunch of shows based off your family?
More than $1 million.
Well, now, who are you, Todd Chrisley?
Patriarch Todd has been known to flaunt his wealth on the show.
I make millions of dollars a year.
The family's lavish lifestyle often on full display.
We're not perfect.
Saying much of it is scripted and some made up, and the family's wealth was an act, as they didn't have that much money after filing for bankruptcy.
I want to make a note here. Just because rich and you're on a TV show doesn't mean that the law is not going to come and get you.
Our family will stick together and we'll walk this road because we know that the good Lord will hold our hand and take us through. I say something, you mark it in your book because it'll be the truth. So I welcome that lawsuit.
Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend or whatever day it is that you're watching this. Today, we're going to be recapping the first week of the Chrisley's federal trial. And let's just say a lot happened this week. We've got so much to unpack, so be sure you get your drinks and your snacks and let's get into it. For those of you who may not know, this trial comes after the Chrisleys were indicted by a federal grand jury back in 2019 for 12 counts of bank and wire fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy, all of which, of course, the Chrisleys have denied. Todd defended himself on Instagram that year, shifting the blame to one of his family's trusted employees, claiming that he had been stealing from them for years. Todd noted that it all started back in 2012 and it involved, quote unquote, all kinds of really bad stuff like creating phony documents, forging their signatures, and threatening other employees with violence if they said anything. The prosecutors are claiming that the Chrisleys evaded nearly $2 million in state taxes alone between the years of 2008 and 2016. They're also claiming that the Chrisleys used their production company, 7C Productions, to hide over $1 million worth of their reality TV income from the IRS, and that Todd directed an employee to falsify income and asset documents. At that time, the Chrisleys did turn themselves in, but they pleaded not guilty to the charges. In October of 2019, the Georgia Department of Revenue did clear them of their state tax evasion charge, agreeing that the Chrisleys' Knows Best stars had overpaid in 4 of those years and owed nothing for the other 4. In total, they had a net liability of less than $77,000 in overdue taxes for just 1 year of incorrect filing. But even though the Georgia Department of Revenue did sign a settlement agreement that ended the 2-year investigation, Todd and Julie still continue to face federal charges for allegedly evading federal taxes during those same years. Breaking down their charges, both are facing 1 count of conspiracy to commit bank fraud, 5 counts of bank fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the United States, and 1 count of tax fraud. Julie Chrisley also faces additional counts of wire fraud and obstruction of justice. The Chrisleys' accountant, Peter Tarantino, is also being charged with 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and 2 counts of willfully filing false tax returns. This past Monday, May the 16th, kicked off the first week of trial. And aside from the jury being selected, the main meat and potatoes of this week was opening statements from all parties. Just to give you guys the lowdown on this trial, it is expected to last up to 3 to 4 weeks, and it is taking place in Atlanta, which is the city where all of this took place for the Chrisleys before they moved to Tennessee. On Tuesday, May the 17th, Assistant U.S. Attorney Annalise Peters gave her opening statements, claiming that Todd and Julie Chrisley submitted false documents exaggerating their wealth to the banks to borrow over $30 million that they quote-unquote burned on their affluent lifestyle while additionally hiding money from the IRS. She stated they made up documents and they lie through their teeth to get whatever they want whenever they want it. Todd Chrisley's attorney, Bruce H. Morris, fired back, blaming the couple's former employee, Mark Braddock, for not only impersonating Todd and committing the fraud behind the couple's back, but also reportedly turning on them after he was fired back in 2012. Attorney Annalise agreed that Braddock was a fraudster, but she also noted that the couple continued the act even after cutting ties with him. When it comes to Todd's accountant Tarantino, his attorney said that his client was quote-unquote in over his head and unqualified to handle the Chrisleys' finances, stating that he failed the CPA exam many times over 20 years. Regardless of his lack of qualifications, though, the attorney noted that Tarantino is not a criminal. A lot of folks are curious on how much time the Chrisleys could be looking at if they are convicted of these charges. An expert by the name of Delia explained that if this case does go to trial and the jury rules in favor of the government, the IRS can potentially grab everything that the Chrisleys have to fulfill their debt. She stated the IRS moves from administrative to criminal when it's a very serious case, which is what the Chrisleys are facing. She continued stating if it does come out that the jury agrees, Todd and Julie could face up to 5 years in prison just for the tax evasion charges alone, and possibly even more. When it comes to the charges for allegedly evading federal taxes, there hasn't been a surefire update on what's at stake for them since they were cleared of their state evasion charge back in October 2019. But according to several different outlets, the maximum period of time that the Chrisleys could be looking at if they are found guilty on all charges is up to 30 years in federal prison. I don't know about you guys, but that is an awful long time. I want to hear what you guys think about all of this. Do you believe the Chrisleys when they say that they are innocent of all charges? Or do you think that there's a possibility that they are guilty of some of these charges? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm definitely going to be following this trial and keeping you guys in the loop on a weekly basis. So if you're interested and you haven't already, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing before you go, and tapping the bell for post notifications. That way you are notified every single time I upload. I appreciate every single one of you to the moon and stars. And until the next one, mwah, bye guys.